Scientists finally discover what some of us already knew, that there is absolutely an ancient civilization in Antarctica. There is plant life, there is all of these things that we supposedly had no idea about. And now they are coming out about this. So there's a couple reasons that they would do this. Either there's something about to go down that they cannot stop, or the ice is melting so fast that there's not going to be any way to deny it any longer. But I have researched, y'all know I've been researching this for a long time, and people are like, you're obsessed with Antarctica, or whatever the case may be. Let me ask you a question. We have these rovers, we spend billions upon billions of dollars that go to Mars, the moon, possibly Venus, and all of these places, but yet for some reason we haven't explored all of an entire continent, where they are absolutely saying that there are places that are 70 degrees. Why would that be? Why would that be? Why have we been told that it's just ice, wind, snow, and just a terrible place to be? Nobody wants to do anything there. I mean, it's just too rough. It's too rough, you know? Okay, that would be believable if we didn't have people living in Alaska, Siberia, fishing and in the oceans near Alaska, and all of these horrific conditions, and yet people still do that. No big deal. People still live there. It's no big deal. We have heaters. We have jackets. We have people that will essentially do anything to find gold and other gems, diamonds, and all of these things. And according to mineral reports that were, I believe, first leaked from WikiLeaks, or it's some Chinese mining information that shows that there's absolutely gemstones and oil and diamonds, you know, all of these things in Antarctica. But yet, we don't see Exxon down there. We don't see Chevron. We don't see BP. We don't see these mining companies. Why not? I mean, they work in the harshest conditions. If you didn't watch, what was that Discovery show, Gold Rush? And they're working in Alaska in some terrible, you know, conditions, digging through the permafrost and all of these things to find gold. And they did. And they still continue to. So why isn't anybody doing that in Antarctica? You know, there's a lot of conspiracy type reasons that we could think of, and then there's a lot of facts that some people just ignore. I mean, you can look at it and see that there is absolutely ancient civilization footprints there. So what's really going on? Well, that all takes us back to the Antarctic Treaty, where we are told that it's just so, you know, for environmental reasons, and we're going to keep it pristine and all of these things. If you know anything about big corporations or governments or any of those things, just think about that. Just for like 2 minutes. Think about it. Do you really believe that? No. That is silly. There's no way, no how, that they wouldn't be down there drilling, doing all of these things to, you know, get their greed on. They don't care about the environment. Are you kidding me? If they did, a lot of... Here's a prime example. If they did, that video I posted last night about free energy and bees not flying and they levitate and all of this technology that we knew about at least 100 years ago would be being done if they cared about the environment, or if they cared about more sustainable ways of doing things. But they don't. And they suppress it. And that's not hidden knowledge, it's public knowledge. You can find all of Tesla's patents and go through it and see, oh really? Or you can even see that they made an electric car back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. But then they realized, oh, we can't do that. You know, the Rockefellers, all these guys, how are we going to just continue to sell oil to them? What about this? Why does the pyramids and other places, other ancient civilizations that are no longer around, why do they look like motherboards? Computer chips. What were they doing with these? Why do they look like grids? Was it for free energy? What else would it be for? Of course it was. And there's scientists that know this. There's scientists that don't, and they refuse to speak about it. And what's the best way to get people to not talk about it? Let's call it a conspiracy. That's crazy. It's a conspiracy. Just in general, would anybody, I don't care what civilization it is, would they really spend decades building these structures to put a coffin in? Would they? No, they wouldn't. It's ridiculous. Not only that, but they have never found any remains in these supposed tombs of pyramids. Why are these pyramids on all continents? This is a good article right here. Warm Antarctic caves harbor secret life, says scientist. This is from physicalscience.org. A secret world of animals and plants, including unknown species, may live in warm caves under Antarctica's glaciers, scientists said Friday. The caves, hollowed out by steam from active volcanoes, are light, and could reach temperatures of 25 degrees Celsius. That's 77 degrees Fahrenheit, researchers said, raising the possibility of an entire ecosystem of flora and fauna deep beneath the frozen surface. A study led by Australian National University around Mount Erebus, an active volcano on the Ross Island in Antarctica, showed extensive cave systems. Lead researcher, blah, 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 blah. While most of the DNA was similar to moss and algae and invertebrates found elsewhere in Antarctica, not all sequences could be fully identified. The results from the study give a tantalizing glimpse of what might live beneath the ice in Antarctica. And where I want to go from here is I want to talk about a cave in Thailand called the Hang Son Dun. I don't know how to say it really, I'm not gonna lie. Dun, D-O-A, I think it's something like that. It is an entire cave system that has its own ecosystem, clouds, atmosphere. It's huge.
and it has its own entire ecosystem. It's miles and miles long. If you've never looked into this, there's many videos of people touring it. They haven't even found all of it. But if this doesn't show you that there can definitely be multiple caves in Antarctica just like this, I don't know what could. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's like an entire world. And no matter what the temperature is above ground, it's different below ground because of it has its own ecosystem. Let me see. Right here. So you can see how long it is. It's huge. Look at how beautiful this is. And this, they're saying it was discovered in 2009, but actually it was discovered in the late 1800s, and then they rediscovered it, I guess you can say. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I mean, it's livable. So to say that there's nothing living under in the caves that are 77 degrees in Antarctica would be silly. There absolutely is. But y'all look into this cave, it's amazing. And they have other ones. They have them in Brazil, they have them in... This is apparently the largest one that they talk about, but they also have the ones in Antarctica. And just because it's freezing above doesn't mean it's freezing below. And we have seen many reports of that, even from Admiral Byrd back in Operation IceBridge, where he talked about vast, lush island, like a valley of lush garden. Let me see.
And then we have this article from 2018, Incredible Structure Revealed Under the Melting Ice in Antarctica. Antarctica has long intrigued explorers. The vast expanse of land is largely unknown and undiscovered. But let's go down here. NASA's Operation IceBridge mission. Okay, for years there have been rumors that the continent hides a complete hidden civilization. Well, that's not the one. Triplathly, the lead archaeologist in the Department of Archaeology at the University of Calcutta, explained that there are clearly features here of some sort of human-made structure resembling some sort of pyramidal structure. The patterns clearly show nothing we should expect from morphological formations, found in nature. We clearly have here evidence of human engineering. The only problem is that these photographs were taken in Antarctica under 2 kilometers of ice. That is clearly the puzzling part. We do not have an explanation for this at the moment. The more intriguing part is that the pictures only show a small portion of this incredibly large continent. Yeah, that is puzzling that they hide so much, right? Even archaeologists are asking that. So we have this possible bridge or of some sort, and you can go to these coordinates right here. There's no denying that there's, let me see. Oh, the scientific community believe that this is another, you see this? Ancient civilization surfacing. What does this mean, another? I thought there was none. Or possibly another structure associated with an unknown civilization, discovered by NASA team during Operation IceBridge. So they did find one in Operation IceBridge. Really interesting. Along with the theory about ancient civilizations, other interested structures. I mean, you really have to actually download Google Earth Pro and look into these things because you'll see so much. If you just look at it on Google Earth or whatever, you're just going to see white. And it just looks like, oh, okay, yeah, just a big piece of ice. No way. Half of it is not ice. Well, I would say. But you see these structures, and I'm going to show you some more pictures. These are like where a building would have been, you know, whenever they were on the surface. And I believe that, they went underground due to some cataclysmic situation. But, I mean, this is obviously not made by wind, ice, and snow. That's silly. So let's take a look at some other things that show definite proof that there is human intervention going on, or that have gone on over the years. This is just a beautiful picture from that cave. Okay, so this is what we believe is under the ice. And you can look right here, and these are obvious pictures of what used to be roads. And I mean, it looks just like what Manhattan would look like if it just one day disappeared. All of these footprints of buildings, roads, centers, cities. Just, it's obvious. Like, common sense just tells you this. It doesn't even take a scientist to tell you this, honestly. But there's much more going on. And let's take a look at this, how much this looks like Saskatchewan. So this is Antarctica right here. I know, you would think it's ice. No, this is Antarctica. And then you look at Saskatchewan in Peru. I believe it's in Peru. And it looks just like it. All right, guys, I won't make this too much longer. It's already 17 minutes. But, I mean, you just have to look at it with an open mind, and you can see that's exactly what's going on down there. Y'all have a wonderful day. Like, share, and subscribe.